A man who commanded a lot of respect and admiration from his congregation and his community until he raped a Form 2 student. The State versus Nathan Maringa. This is Casefiles. Nathan Maringa Ruibi is not a shy man. He is a man who has for a long time spoken the word to thousands of people back in Kirinyaga in Kerugoya until a family used to administer to as a priest took him to court.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2.
Nathan was a priest of a local church in Kirinyaga town in Central Province. The man of the cloth lived with his wife and children in the compound of Keene Girls Secondary School, where incidentally, Eda Catherine Wakene was a student in her second year in high school. Nathan says he was exhausted on the 9th of 2nd of January 2007 when the crime he's accused of committing occurred.
And Eda Wakene was in my place. For the whole of the December holiday, she had stayed in my place, stayed with my children, and I kept on coming home from my parish where I've been serving as a clergy, came and would stay with my children over the weekends and go back. And all through, she was there. At least did I know that anything was growing in her. And this day on fast, I had come from the parish, I was tired, so I decided to go to sleep a little early. And they stayed with the children after the children slept, and she ensured that they had slept. I had not locked my door. She entered into my place. And you know what happens with men when you're sleeping and you are used to being with your wife. Turning over, and she was there was a lady around and ready for me. I didn't know exactly. My mind had not even registered that my wife is not there.
The master bedroom where the act allegedly occurred was just a few steps away from where the room of Nathan's children was located. He says if he raped Eda Catherine Wakene, then there must have been some form of commotion in the house.
I realized that actually I'm doing wrong because my wife is not with me. And immediately after that, I was sorry about it. I told my wife about it and repented.
The woman he had carnal knowledge with was not his wife, but the high school student who had become part of the Ruibis family. The young girl got pregnant. She had to drop out of school to look after his son she had given birth to as a result of the 2nd of January rape in a house she had called home, raped by a man who knew her parents, who at times did administer the word of God to her, a man who had gained trust from the locals as a man of the cloth. Nathan says yes, he had carnal knowledge with a young girl, but it was not rape. It was not his doing. He was a victim of temptation.
She had not talked to me because I had just gone. I was tired, I was asleep. So even if she did, I may not have responded, because I would have realized that she has come to my place before starting anything, and nothing would have happened. Yeah.
So after you realized, how did you get to know that she was the one? What happened?
Now after, you see, normally when one is on conjugal relations, there are some words you feel you talk to express yourself. So in the process of expressing myself, I realized that I'm talking to the wrong person, and that was very embarrassing. It was very hurting. It was I was actually very bitter about it. I couldn't fight yet. I couldn't do anything, but it was very hurting already. It was even against my will.
But a court that sat in Kerugoya did not call it a carnal relationship. Senior resident magistrate Esendego says Nathan lied to the court that the young Eda came knocking on his bedroom door that night. In her evidence admitted in court, Eda told the magistrate, "I had a knock on my bedroom door. I turned to check. I saw Reverend Maringa who had opened the door. He told me to hug him. He said it was his day for me to hug him. I told him I could not hug him. He said he could not teach the youth to fear sex as it was in the Bible. By this time I felt nervous. I told him I wanted to wait for the right man and not him. He held me. He pushed me back to our bed where I was sleeping with Mercy. He forcefully had sex with me. I attempted to scream, but I couldn't. At the time of the rape ordeal, Nathan's young daughter and son were not in the house, so was the wife. The magistrate says Nathan had the plan and the intention to rape the high school student. Nathan, according to the court, had made sure the family was not home when he executed his evil plan. He turned on the volume on the radio to drown any screams from the high school student who had spent most of her time with his children. While sending the priest to jail, the magistrate said the court finds the offense serious, bearing in mind the accused was a priest, someone that people put trust in and who preaches morality. I do find the accused had unlawful carnal knowledge with the complainant without her consent. I do find him guilty and accordingly convict him for the offense of rape.
They had already assured me that the document I'm writing will not be taken anywhere. I was not fearing going anywhere, but the fact is I didn't expect that it would be a case after agreeing that I'm going to take care of the issue. So they changed the matter from pregnancy to rape.
20 years is the penalty that Maringa has to suffer for a crime he committed 6 years ago. He has since served 2 years in prison.
I would tell Enda Wakene to forgive me of the sin that I did to her. And for sure, I know she knows, and you know, Enda, that I never raped you. And I'm suffering in prison. My family is suffering, not because I raped you, but you initiated this. However, I've forgiven you.
For a man who enjoyed trust from his flock is now a man fighting to gain the trust and attention from his fellow inmates. As other students spend their time with their parents during the holidays, your daughter, who is in high school, is busy spending her time with her boyfriend. She's arrested and convicted for robbery with violence. Dennis Onsarigo for Casefiles.